is Josh Sebo, the COO of OfferVault.com, the industry's largest affiliate offer search engine. Make sure you subscribe to our channel for more great interviews, the latest affiliate news, and free training. Today, we have another fantastic guest. He's the VP of Strategic Partnerships at DFO Global. And per usual, another good friend of mine in the industry. Let's welcome to the show, Adam Pivko. What's up, Adam?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I nailed that intro. So where are you talking to us from today?
I'm in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Enjoying the cold, if you will. I'm a nice burly boy, so keeping warm is no problem for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep warm with this beard. It's starting to warm up, so I think I'm going to have to take it down a little bit.
Yeah, you definitely need a good trim there.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. So I'd love to just jump right into this interview. We got a lot to talk about today, and I know you got some good stories for us. Let's go all the way back before affiliate marketing. What were you doing before DFO? I'm just going to abbreviate it as that moving forward. And what were you doing before affiliate marketing in general?
So extensive amount of school, but even before going to university or whatever, I was building online graphics for people. I was helping, primarily with Photoshop skills for banners and stuff like that. I never really made a big business of it or had some liquidity event that's notable, but through university, I took up bartending in a big way. And my first job out of university was like photocopier sales. Door to door, business to business, grinding my teeth, if you will, as many say.
Were you the bartender who was like flipping bottles, catching them on your elbow, like going over the shoulder?
Funny you asked that. No, but I worked at primarily all through university. I worked at a very high end elite social club, if you will, with like massive membership fees, and nothing was paid for over the counter, and not like serving drinks and getting tips like that. Mm-hmm. So I was never really even seen making drinks for the most part. Sometimes we'd have open bar events, but never really seen making drinks. Just really consistent was the goal.
Okay. So going back into what you were doing before, I just had to ask that question. It was very important, obviously. So you were doing that, and then what happened next?
One of my fraternity brothers was a recruiter. They had a cool sales gig that he thought I would excel at. I got into selling photocopiers door to door, and then a little bit went by. One of the businesses that I cold entered, if you will, was CX Digital Media way back in the day. So one thing led to another. I knew somebody who worked there. We went out for lunch. Told me a little bit about what's blowing up in his industry, and I was blown away by the dollars being made, and I knew I had the skill sets to do it. So I applied and got a job as an AM there before kind of shit hit the fan at CX Digital Media. So that was my original foray into the digital marketing world. I think that was 2009, I want to say, or like late 2010. Yeah, something
okay.
like that. Yeah.
So about 10 years goes by, and now you're with DFO. I'm sure a lot happened within those 10 years. You could tell us about it, parts of it or none of it. But my next question is, how did you end up with DFO? How did you get from that first company that you got your start at in the space, and how'd you get to where you are today?
So I took a very strong interest in the data and the analytics of this business. Of performance marketing. Like, you are not a performance marketer if you're not looking at data and analytics and making changes and A/B tests and split testing. You're just a marketer at that point. If you're a performance marketer, those metrics are important. So in my previous role, I was surrounded and overcome by the amounts of data, working for a CRM platform doing, upwards of $3 or $4 billion processed through the platform annually through a wide variety of offers. So I became entrenched in the data and worked with the data to solve problems and solve clients and improve performance and profitability and AOV or LTV or retention or churn reduction or anti-fraud. I became a jack of all trades pretty quickly. But instead of being a jack of all trades, I really resonate with being, constantly learning. So I think that I've never closed my mind to learning opportunities. I still attend a ton of webinars, even if I know the speakers and have heard them present the same thing 5 times over. Maybe there's still a new tidbit that I can pick up and chew on from something like that. So I remain very open-minded. And I think in that relationship of open-mindedness and DFO being such a multifaceted organization, it was a progression for me, and the next step to take all my learnings and being able to apply it not only to our own business, but to work on clients still. So I thought it was a very crucial time and a good timing to make that move.
Cool. So let's pretend I know nothing about DFO Global. Please tell us what you guys do, what you want the affiliate industry to know about you, and just anything you think, our viewers should know about the company itself.
Sure. So I would say that we are three main things. First and foremost, we are a group of e-commerce professionals and performance marketers. But what we do with that is we are a direct advertiser. We make our own products. We bring them to market. We, build landing pages and do fulfillment and customer service and operate all of what it takes to be a direct advertiser in-house. So that's a super impressive operation and a big division within DFO. But above and beyond being an advertiser ourselves, we've developed an affiliate network where not only are our own products and our own offers presented on there, but we do service some third-party offers selectively. So we're an advertiser, we're an affiliate network, and last but definitely not least is we're an agency as well. So not only are we doing media buys for our own products and our own joint venture partnerships, but we're doing it on behalf of clients, doing managed media spends, conversion rate optimization, funnel building, funnel design, general cross-platform marketing. So it's a growth hacking, performance marketing driven agency.
In terms of the affiliate network side of things, what kind of offers do you guys special in? Maybe not specific offers, but maybe some of the verticals or niches that you guys really focus on?
Yeah, our strongest is by far and away e-commerce gadgets and e-commerce performing offers internationally. But next from that would be health, wellness, beauty, fitness. Those types of verticals are definitely really, really strong with our affiliate base, and where we find a lot of scale and a lot of success.
All right, I'm going to say a word. You're going to say the first word that comes to your head. Ready?
Game.
DFO Global.
Conglomerate.
Awesome. You nailed it. That was the game. Good job, buddy.
It's just one go?
Yeah, just one go. You got it. Unless you got to, well, yeah, because we just want like off the cuff, like first thing that, we don't want you to think about it too much.
I was ready for rapid fire game.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, yeah, to keep this, G-rated, let's, we'll tone it down. So I see
G.
No, this actually has no rating, so we could get as crazy as you want. But I figured we've had some nights together, so I'm just trying to protect both of our reputations right now.
Oh. So we shouldn't recollect on.
No, we shouldn't recollect. Not yet, but we'll see where this interview goes. We're still getting warmed up here. Cool. So you're at the home office. I'm at the home office. A lot of people are at the home office. Where do you see the industry heading over the next couple of years, and what are people going to need to prepare for in order to keep up with these changing trends ahead of them?
So home office is definitely not, something I'm not used to. I've been working from home or working remotely for a number of years. I either travel to shows and that's where I see people and see my colleagues, or I'm working from home. So I didn't really have to adapt much, and it allows me this freedom to kind of still think and be organized and be hyper efficient. So, if you're not on that level of hyper efficiency working from anywhere, then that's definitely a change you need to start adapting for in the future. But above and beyond that, I would think, what I'm seeing, where I'm seeing a lot of growth and where I'm seeing a lot of articles and where I'm seeing a lot of content coming around is all about personalization and customization. So personalized health, customized beauty, and definitely I'm seeing more and more of offers that are and brands that are combining digital and physical into one kind of solution. So I definitely think that that's a massive growth opportunity for the future. Personalized health, man, you take a quiz, you take a blood test, you take a swab of your mouth, you do whatever it takes to get you some further insights. It's kind of like automating the naturopathic medicine and recommendations that those types of doctors would give you for better health.
Briefly mentioned the trade show. You go and you see people at these conferences. How do you see that being affected by what's going on, and how are people, or What would you recommend people doing in terms of
I,
continuing to network and develop relationships?
I'm a diehard optimist. So I think they'll be back in full force once all this frees up. Plus, the vast majority, for all intents and purposes, of this industry and the professionals in it are in that age demographic that says, hey, you should just be brave and be a warrior and go get sick and then quarantine yourself and you'll be fine. So I'm a diehard optimist, and I think that the conference circuit will be back in full effect in no time. The ability to meet up and do face-to-face meetings, it can't remain like this. We're too connective of a society and too social of a people. I was just on another chat where she's some very professional lady about mental health. Was saying, I hate the term social distancing. It should be physical distancing.
Right.
You don't need to socially distance. Like we're already socially distanced. Like look how far apart we are, and yet we're still talking. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
The whole term social distancing to me is lost.
So you as the optimist, do you think conferences will be back this summer, by the winter, by next summer? Like what's your take on all that?
It will depend on historically where those conferences were held and what's going on, geopolitically and pandemic wise in those regions. But yeah, I think that they will be back. I would estimate by late summer for North.
I hope so, because we have way too much fun together, and if we can't have a night out on the town together, I'm going to be extremely sad.
I hear you. I'm. I used to say that I was in such good shape for conferences and that I just
I know what you mean.
So many of them and have a great tolerance and
you really are at all of them. I would see you at every single show. I'd be like, you're here again? You're like, dude, I don't miss a show.
I did like 168 days on the road last year or something.
Oh my God.
Which is just way too much. So I'm reveling in the glory of being forced to stay home right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you miss traveling, or do you actually enjoy getting some time off, which is not time off by any means, but time off from being on the road?
Traveling has its pros and cons. And same with working from home. A lot of people, I have friends that have historically, their whole career has been stuck in an office and we're always, I don't want to use the term jealous, but let's just say envious of me working remotely. And now that they're working remotely, they're like, I don't know how you do this. I'm going nuts. I'm like, I don't know what to do. It's just like,
right.
It's not for everybody. And the same goes for work travel. It was very common for me to say, hey, see you guys at the show and do some type of social post. And then I'd have, some of my friends be like, you're always traveling. That must be nice. You're so that's so cool. I have to stay in the office the whole time. And it's just yeah, except I go to a conference where the conference starts on Saturday and goes till Tuesday, and I don't get a weekend.
Right, exactly.
I'm on my feet all weekend, and it's blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of downsides to travel. Getting your meals covered and eating nicely with clients and doing cool events and having experiences. Those are the best parts about travel. The actual conference, the actual, hey, what do you do? Hey, you making money? How you making money? Can we make money together?
Right, yeah.
It's just,
there's a lot of those spur of the moment interactions where you're just at the lobby bar and someone else is there and you're like, oh, you're here for the show, and then a day later you guys are doing business together. So I think that is what's going to be missed out on, is those face-to-face interactions, spur of the moment stuff like that.
I totally resonate with, when you're not actually 100% with your go-do business hat on, but you're there, and that's what you should be doing at every second while you're traveling, in my opinion. Or otherwise you're just costing your organization money, and nobody wants to be that debt pocket. So yeah, it's constantly, I have a very open-minded attitude, and I'm typically the first person to say yes to go do something. There was a Hot Ones. I'm not sure if you've ever seen the
yeah, of course.
Series Hot Ones.
It's great. Yeah.
Michael Rappaport dropped this amazing line in one of his, and I love his.
By the way, do you want to tell our viewers what Hot Ones are for those that haven't seen it?
Go watch it immediately. Type Hot Ones in YouTube. It's a free series. I think they're on season 11 or something like that, where they interview celebrities while eating very spicy wings, and they get progressively hotter and hotter wings, and the questions get harder and harder to answer. So it really gets celebrities out of their elements, and typically it's really, really comedic.
So what did Michael Rappaport say?
Yeah, Michael Rappaport says, if I was a chick, you'd call me easy. Because he just says yes to everything because he's very open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
I just, it always resonated with me because I try to maintain, and I frown upon people who, say no to something before they've even tried it. It's just how I am at life. So
Right.
open-mindedness way up there for me in terms of, a quality that I look for in friends and family and everything.
So to answer the question, where do you see the industry heading over the next couple of years? You see it not changing much. We just got to get through this little hump in this little chapter that we're in right now.
Well, industry,
Right.
I was thinking, like I said, I was saying like personalized and customized.
Mm-hmm. Right.
More front end, top of funnel quizzes to get you a more precise product offering in an arsenal, as opposed to look at all my products, or as opposed to here's the only product we sell.
I got so lost in your fantastic answer. I totally forgot about that beginning part. So great job.
Good. I just think personalization and customization are the future. So I want to support that push. I want to be part of that push. I'm looking to work with businesses that are doing that type of push. So yeah.
Yeah. So you've been in the industry for many, many years. You've been to so many shows. You've met so many people, which leads me into my next question. What would be some advice you would give to an affiliate or a new internet marketer who's getting started in this space? Maybe some things you would recommend they focus on to succeed.
Yeah, I would say that there's so much information out there, and yeah, sure, it may be hard to decipher it all or figure out what's meaningful or what's good, but do your research, like spend the time. And once you're done spending the time and you're ready to pull the trigger and move on something, then it's start to look at the tools that you're going to need to be successful. So it's time first, tools second, and then realistically, it's no longer like the wild west of there's money being made every which way and you could be successful doing anything. It takes a concerted budget and a realistic spend. It's a spend money to make money world. So if you've done your research and you've locked in on some tools, those are pay to play tools. And for the most part, I have yet to see an extremely powerful free tool. So, as long as you've locked in on those things, then start saving up your money before you can make a real push at something to give something a fair shot and a fair amount of time, a fair amount of testing it's going to require to be successful.
Speaking of successful, you like that? How do you define the concept of success? What does being successful mean to
It's such a deep question.
Yeah.
What is success? Like professionally, personally, I really
Sure,
like
give us two answers if you want.
I'm going to blend them because the internet never sleeps, and family and work life blend for me.
Especially now.
Yeah, ever more so now.
Yeah.
I like to think that success is not only bringing yourself up, but bringing those around you up. So I'm always very supportive of my friends, of people in the industry, people who ask me questions. I never try to, line my own pockets with commission for doing referrals or anything like that. I want to bring up the industry. I want to bring up my friends along, with me. And at the same time, by doing so, they're going to bring you up as well. So it's kind of like a spit out good karma mentality for me. Mm-hmm. And as long as you're maintaining that good karma and, trustworthiness and open communication kind of personality, I think, the more proactive you can be on that front instead of reactive is where you find scale and where you find success. So I know that's kind of long-winded, but, I would say, helping those around me is success.
Was there a specific failure in your life that actually helped lead you to your success today and to where you are today that you look back on and you're like, I'm so glad I went through that. It really taught me so much.
Like generally speaking, it's important to trust your gut in business, but I think where my failure was betting too hard on my gut as opposed to testing my gut and seeing data. So it shifted my mindset of, instead of diving into the deep end, like there's plenty of, strategies and ways and techniques to jump into the shallow end and see how cold the water is, mm-hmm. Or warm the water is, mm-hmm. Whatever it may be. So, the lessons that I learned was, you don't need to jump too hard. Even when you're starting a business, you don't need to jump so hard in one direction that you're not open-minded, and that you're not testing, and you're not open to feedback and open to, advancing and scaling. That's all it really comes down to, is testing.
So now you do a lot more testing up front.
Yeah. Or I'll second guess my own gut, and I'll ask people who, I believe would have close to or good insight on how to attack. So, get other perspectives and not just jump full in, you know what I mean?
You're getting a gigantic billboard to put on a major highway in your city. And if you have more than one answer, that's totally fine. Share as many as you want. But what is going on the billboard?
Man. I have a couple slogans that I would probably put up there. I don't know. Underpromise and overdeliver.
That's a good one.
It's so common, and so it's such a familiar one to a lot of people, but I don't know who takes credit for that, or if I have to put
anonymous.
Albert Einstein said.
Right,
I have no idea who said that first.
Yeah.
Underpromise and overdeliver is one that I constantly strive by. I never like to float people up and promise the world and then just say can't do it. Sorry. So that's one. I would say DFO has a really great one. It's eCommerce is a marathon, not a sprint. So we're not looking for short-term gains, and we're making these investments in technology and tools and techniques and split testing and people and resources and offers and products, so that we're playing the long game. We're making these sizable investments and sizable moves that, we don't just, you don't see us running, a fly-by-night mask offer that's, ripping people off. It's just not in our blood to do that. So, we're looking to build for the long haul and constantly training like you would a marathon, and building up your skills and tools to win the long game.
What's one of the best investments you've ever made, whether it's a physical product or a change in the way you think, but something our viewers might be able to apply to their own day-to-day life?
Yeah, I struggled with this one. And I struggled with this concept in that, for me, I think it's an investment in myself. I spent a lot of money going to school, and I don't recommend school for everybody, but for me, it was something that I excelled at, and, really was able to, sponge up information. It's just my personality to be able to constantly learn. So making an investment in myself for further education and further certifications and further just expanding where I collect information from, I think was extremely beneficial to my career and where I am today. I strive to be what they call a scholar practitioner, where you're constantly learning and trying to actually apply what you're learning. If you're learning about bullshit that isn't relevant to you, then it's very, very difficult to be a scholar practitioner. But, I made a concerted effort to focus in where I saw my career direction and started investing in myself.
Where'd you go to school and what'd you study?
I did University of Toronto for undergrad. It's a massive school in Canada. I believe it's still #1 in Canada. No big deal.
I was going to say.
I did economics and social geography to start, with a marketing and film undercourse. And then I did my MBA. I did technology, innovation, and marketing.
Hashtag scholar practitioner right there.
So definitely, found my niche, found my focus. By the time I did some postgraduate work, I took a little time between doing undergraduate and postgraduate to figure out where I really wanted to be. And then, that's, never look back.
So what do you like to do when you're not working, which is hard to believe because you're at every show, you're always working. But when you're not working, what do you like to do with your free time?
Yeah, I have a hobby that I am just diehard in love with. I used to play a lot of video games, a lot of first-person shooters, but I kind of got over them. I don't really play so much anymore. Maybe I'll dabble on a mobile game every once in a while. But I love airsoft.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of like a souped-up version of paintball. I think paintball's old school now compared to airsoft. The range is better, the weapons and stuff, and all the stuff you can get and tactical gear you can wear, and the events themselves. I did a 65 on 65 in an abandoned mall event.
Oh my God.
Dope.
Yeah.
We found a homeless guy 2.5 hours in. He was
wow.
shitless because everything was tactical gear. But yeah, it was just, I really like airsoft. It's a great exercise. The gear and equipment's super affordable and super cool. Yeah, it just really resonates with me. I play a lot of sports too. So in general, just activities like sports, team sports are definitely up my alley.
What's your number one sport that you actually play?
Lacrosse.
Played in school too?
Yep. All through university, all through high school, I played a lot of lacrosse. Yeah.
Nice. So speaking of university, like we just talked about, what would be some advice you'd give to a young adult who's getting ready to enter the real world? And maybe from your experience, you look back, you're like, I don't know why I thought that was so important. And on the flip side, I should have put more value on that. I really messed up by not realizing that earlier. What would you tell them?
Yeah. A lot of people come into this world out of university with like some big ego. I would say don't let your ego get in the way of your business. And a perfect example of this is write shit down. I even still look at waiters or waitresses and I was like, yeah, okay, great. Yeah, exactly. So like I even still look at waiters and waitresses who, maybe worked at that same diner for 10 or 12 years, just not write down their order. And every time I have like a little panic attack.
Mm-hmm.
Not for any good reason. It's just because it's just like, why wouldn't you? Like,
Dude, I went to a restaurant with like 15 people for my brother's bachelor party. And this girl was like, we're like, aren't you going to write this down? She's like, no, I got it. And we were like saying the same thing. Like, what's the benefit of taking that risk? Like, you're not impressing us. Just write it down.
Yeah, it's actually more impressive when you do write things down. You're listening, you're paying attention, and you'll be able to reference this later and take action. So, write shit down is like my number one principle that I talk to. Even like I'm an alumni advisor at my fraternity, and I go by there and I tell them to write shit down. Be open-minded. Hard work gets rewarded. The world doesn't owe you anything yet.
Right.
And like just keep learning. Like learn every chance you get. Don't shut off because they said one thing bad or one thing you already know. Keep listening.
Any bad recommendations that you hear or see happening in the industry right now that you try to steer clear of that maybe you'd recommend our viewers also stay away from? Without
like a Baller Busters. Those guys are great, by the way. Baller Busters, you should check them out on YouTube. They like bust fake gurus. I would say there's a big company, and everybody is going to know exactly which company this is, but I just don't resonate with this mentality at all. In fact, I'm adamantly against it, but it's that everybody deserves the right to be an entrepreneur. I just don't believe that. I struggle to get behind that. And just because you can create a store on this platform doesn't make you an entrepreneur. Wake up. You're not, if you're not taking any risks and, you spent $1,000 to start a business, is like, congrats, good job. Mm-hmm. You could have bought lawnmowers and been and no bash on landscapers. In fact, I have some awesome friends that are really big landscape company guys. But
shout out to the landscapers watching the video. We appreciate what you do.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, not everybody deserves the right to be an entrepreneur. So, treat it like with some respect and treat your customers well is, definitely something that I like to strive for. The other thing, there's another like slogan, fake it till you make it. And it's just like, I think of agencies, faking it till they make it.
You can only fake it for so long until you get called out for your bullshit.
It's not only that, it's just like you're wasting other people's time and money.
Right.
Fuck you.
Exactly.
Go get a job at an agency and go learn and then go start it. You know what I mean? Like why start it fresh out with a fake it till you make it?
When you're feeling overwhelmed or you lose focus during your workday, you have any tricks that you do for yourself that really get you back in the zone and lock you back into what you're doing, task at hand?
Other than just suck back like 5 packets of Jewel Pod.
You do love the Jewel Pods, yeah.
I'll double fist Jewels all day.
Yeah, let's go with the non-nicotine approach.
If I'm feeling distracted, I'm feeling unmotivated or something like that, I'll go consume educational media. I'll go watch somebody who just did a webinar or a live stream or a TED Talk or something that just broadens my mind. And while doing so, if it's, if it is like a TED Talk as a perfect example, because I did this yesterday, if it's a TED Talk, a 20-minute TED Talk, in the process of listening to the TED Talk, if it's not super relevant to my industry or what I can immediately apply right now, I'll start multitasking. And then when that TED Talk finishes, sure enough, I'm just like honed it right back in, focus on a topic.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I'll just listen, overlay on top of whatever I should be doing.
Cool.
And that seems to work for me pretty well.
Any big regrets? I know we kind of talked about the one failure earlier, but is there like the biggest regret in your life you wish you could go back and have done differently? Unless it's the same thing we already discussed.
No, I probably would have never started smoking cigarettes.
That's fair. Moving right along, what's your favorite achievement? That needs no explanation. We all understand that. What's your favorite achievement so far?
I have a bunch. I feel very.
Whoa! Sorry, dude. Whoa!
I feel lucky. I was going to say lucky.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
And my achievements maybe wouldn't be the same ones you have, so it's not like braggadocious.
No, this is your braggadocious time. I want you to be braggadocious. Go ahead and tell us about the few favorite top achievements that you're super proud of.
Like fatherhood to a son is like way up there on my list. I was part of a company that had a really sizable liquidity event, so got a cash payout, if you will. That, definitely a momentous part of my career. In general, just attaining goals for me. I write down my goals and I look at them. They're not just like in some Post-it note somewhere or nowhere to be seen. I look at my goals and when I achieve them, if I'm coming close, if I'm passing like the 75% mark, I'll typically attach like a reward to those goals that makes me really get to the finish line. Yeah. I'm all about execution. I hate doing jobs that don't get finished. So if I set a goal and I'm getting close, I really want to like just close it up and hit that goal. And for the most part, it's been like buying myself some nice watch or whatever it is. But yeah, so
that was the watch shot.
Well, if we're getting into it, no.
Yeah.
IWC big pilot, nobody freak out. But yeah, adrenaline rushes were part of my big one for last year. Like with all the travel that I was doing, I needed to blow off some steam, and like so I would constantly tie in adrenaline rushing events to conferences that I went to.
Like what?
I did running with the bulls in Pamplona. I went case diving with great white sharks, which you saw earlier.
You want to throw that on for our viewers real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. You're super geeked.
Here's like a GoPro footage of a great white like coming in and biting the cage in front of me. Right,
so keep talking. Running with the bulls.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Watch out, dude.
It's like a 16-foot like great white shark.
All right, take it off. All right, cool.
So yeah, and then I did like race car driving in Laguna Seca racetrack, which was super dope.
Yeah.
You shot ground targets from a moving helicopter, like just nuts.
Oh my God.
That was all 2018, like just nuts. Or sorry, 2019.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was. I got a life insurance policy and decided to roll the dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Those are some great achievements, if you will.
Those are
you told me to brag. I wasn't going to drop
that. No, that was great. I was super engaged with that segment. Thank you for sharing all that. Adam, you've been a fantastic guest. Really appreciate you being on the show. Before we let you go, we are going to play a little game I like to call the OfferVault Hot Seat. Here's how it works. Speaking of sucking on the jewel, we're going to ask you 5 would you rather questions. Pretty straightforward. They're going to get a little harder as we go. You're going to tell us your answer. We'll move right along. Sound good?
I'm ready.
All right, question 1. Would you rather eat a dead mouse or 10 daddy long leg spiders?
Like cooked mouse? Raw mouse?
Raw mouse or 10 daddy long legs in one fistful?
Spiders.
Yeah, 100%. Me too. Question 2. Would you rather go a month without showering or a month without internet?
A month without showering.
Easy. Me too. Sometimes I do that just for fun anyway. Whatever. Question 3. Would you rather throw up in the middle of the dance floor or in your Uber on the way home?
Uber.
Really? See, I would rather do middle of the dance floor. I think you could better chance of like doing it and getting away with it without people knowing. Just do like
that's not middle of the dance floor. That's side dance floor.
No, middle of the dance floor, packed dance floor. You just kind of duck down and then you're out of there. Uber, it's like, there's no escaping that.
I'd rather pay a fee and nobody know about it than people know about it.
Okay. Man of his reputation. I feel that. Question 4. Would you rather poop your pants in public once a year for the rest of your life or poop your pants in private every day for the rest of your life?
Private.
Every day.
Yeah, like whatever. I'll time it with my showers.
Okay, that's a respectable answer. I think I would do once just because I think that's just an unenjoyable experience to go through every day. But hey, we don't have to agree on our answers. This is the OfferVault hot seat. Everybody gets their own opinion.
It's a hot seat. I didn't have time to think about that.
Yeah. It's just disclaimer. He didn't have time, guys. All right, question 5, last question. Would you rather slowly walk across 50 feet of red hot coals or put your hand on a hot iron for 5 seconds? 50 feet of coals or a hot iron to the hand for 5 seconds.
I'm really not a fan of like heat, so I would say like get it over with. Let's go.
Just
with
not a fan of heat. Wait,
yeah,
get it over with and go with what?
I'd go with the iron. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, that's only like 2 seconds. I won't do the full 5, but
like you said, slowly over 50 feet. That's going to be longer than 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's why it was question 5.
That's 2 feet, and no.
Adam, you did it. You made it through the hot seat. Thank you so much for playing. Before we let you go, I'm going to give you the microphone. This is the time for you to say whatever you want about DFO. Tell our viewers anything you want. Go ahead.
Yeah, affiliates, definitely check us out if you're looking at running e-com. I think we run a really awesome ship. We typically put our own offers through a gamut of tests. When we work with third-party offers, we're requesting a lot of these partnerships where they're providing us with a lot of the assets and materials that you need to be successful up front. So it's limiting your risk while giving you a real opportunity to scale with us. That's for affiliates and publishers, media buyers, all alike. I would say definitely check that out. We're coming out with some really cool technology for affiliates, media buyers, and publishers. So keep an eye out on that. It's going to be super, super cool. I'm working on it personally, so I'm hoping that it really resonates with this type of audience, but not so much just yet. I don't want to drop the ball on that yet. I'm not sure when this is going live, but it's coming out. So keep your ears to the ground for that one. With regards to offer owners and advertisers and merchants, if your offer is proprietary, patented, unique, looking to go international or global with your product, definitely let's have a conversation. We have opportunities out there for you for not only, partnership or even just CPA or agency work. We're also a breadth of resources and expertise. So if we can help, we do, free of charge as well. So happy to talk to just about anybody and offer some assistance in the internet marketing, performance marketing world. Reach out.
For Adam from DFO Global Performance and myself, Josh from OfferVault, let's make that paper. Let's make that dough. This was the Affiliate Marketing Show. We'll see you next time, everybody.